everybody. Good morning. We're gonna start with this webinar. Introduce myself. My name is Antonio Perez. I am Director of Sales for Latin America and Caribbean for NVT Phybridge. NVT Phybridge is the result of the merge of two companies. Some of you might know about the NVT. For many years, we've been the leaders in systems of transmission, basically for CCTV, for security cameras. About 3 years ago, we were acquired by a Canadian company called Phybridge. They come a little bit more from the IP telephony world. Basically, altogether, what we are offering under the branding of Chariot is a series of solutions of Ethernet and PoE transmission systems, transmission solutions that will allow you and your customers for a quick, easy, and really cost-effective migration to IP. Okay. Chariot again is the name that englobes three families of switches. Basically, the first one is called the CLEER switch. The CLEER switch, it's a switch. CLEER stands for Coax Leverage Ethernet Extended Reach. It's a series of solutions that consist of a 24 managed switch, a 10-port unmanaged switch, and a series of EOC, Ethernet over Coax extenders. The solution will allow you basically for two things. One is overcome the barriers that many customers have when they want to migrate to IP and they already have an existing Coax infrastructure. The solution will allow your customer to reuse the same cable without the need to recable, and also will extend the Ethernet and the PoE up to 600 meters over Coax cable. Okay. We'll explain a little bit more in detail. Here to your right, you see the PoLRE family. The PoLRE is a solution that sometimes applies more to IP telephony. In this case, we're leveraging one pair of wire, one Cat3, for instance. In many cases, customers that have all telephony, PBX, TDMs, they can also migrate to IP without having to recable. It can be used for anything, actually. Our solutions are not only security focused, it's more like an IoT focus, where we really focus on any kind of solution that the IoT world allows for. In this case, there are some other cases where you can use existing one UTP pair existing to migrate cameras to IP. In this case, we have a 24-port and 48-port managed switch, an 8-port unmanaged switch, and in this case, we allow for a 365-meter extension of Ethernet and PoE. Okay. And finally, we have the latest is the Flex switch. The Flex switch works on 2-pair or 4-pair. We also have a 24-port managed switch, Flex switch. We have an 8-port unmanaged switch, and in this case, we allow for fast Ethernet and PoE++ up to 50 watts of PoE per port, and also with a reach of 600 meters. We're going to explain a little bit more in detail. Here you have some of on the left, some of the alliances we have, all the partnerships we have with most of the key players, key manufacturers, both in the security and in the unified communications in the telephony world. We're working with Axis, Bosch, Hanwha, Vigilon, Hikvision, Naricon, and in the telephony world, I don't know if any of you, besides security, we work also in telephony. We are Avaya, Cisco, Mitel, Unified NEC partners. Middle some of the awards, and to the right side, many of the success stories. I will tell you a little bit more about some of them. Let's start with the first one, with the CLEER switch and the EC10. Again, we have a CLEER switch, which is a 24-port Layer 2 managed switch with 24 downlink ports. It gives you 100 megabits full duplex. It gives you 30 watts of power per port. The EC10 is a 10-port unmanaged switch, and we have a series of transceivers and extenders. Okay. What this allows you for is basically where you have a customer with an already existing analog cameras and an existing coax infrastructure that many times runs over 100 meters, over 300 feet. Many times when this customer is considering this migration to AP, the cost of investment in just changing that infrastructure, planning, cable, new wire, labor, professional services, if the distances are over 100 meters, the need to install IDF closets with IDF backup power cooling becomes a very expensive proposition. What we allow with this CLEER switch, again, is a quick and easy and cost-effective migration reusing the cable that you already have. Basically, again, the CLEER switch, it has 24 downlink ports. It has a management and console ports, 2 gigabit Ethernet and fiber ports, uplink ports. And when it comes to power, under power-wise, we have a very robust power solution that allows for 500 or 1,000 watts of power. It's hot swappable, can work at AC or DC. It allows for power sharing among different switches that are stacked together, and allows for power management. Again, where you already have this existing coax infrastructure, in a very easy 3-step solution that's going to allow you for this migration to AP. First, you're going to rack those CLEER switches in your rack, and you're going to configure them. It's very easy configuration. You're going to connect them to the new NVR that's going to take place of the old LVR, DVR, and you're going to test those locally. That existing coax cable that is connected to your DVR, you're going to disconnect and connect directly to the downlink ports at your CLEER switch. At the other end, exactly the same. You're going to disconnect that coax cable from your existing analog camera. You're going to connect to our EasyLink, which is the adapter that will allow you to reuse that cable and also extend the distance for Ethernet and power. And from there, you're going to go directly to your new IP camera, IPTV, voice IP, computer, Wi-Fi, any kind of IoT device. You can see a very quick and easy migration. Okay. Here you have a little bit of a diagram of how this would work. Basically, what you have here is a solution where you can use either a single individual EasyLink connected to your IP device, or you can use an EC4. The EC4 is a 4-port transmitter that allows you to use up to 4 IP devices, 4 cameras, or 4 any kind of devices. It can be an IP camera, an IP phone, an IP wireless, or any kind of IP data, and reuse it using only one of those coax cables. Okay. Most of the times, the PoE, the power, is going to be provided directly from our PoE switch. There are other times where, depending on the distance, or if it's a camera, for instance, a PTC camera that uses a lot of power and it needs more power than the 30 watts that we can provide, you can also use an optional additional power supply that through the adapter, through the EasyLink or the EC4, you can provide the PoE to that IP device. Okay. So I was saying before, this is hot swappable, means that any problem with the power supply at one of the switches, just by connecting those at the back, you can see in this picture, allows you for the other 3 switches to act as backup power. Okay, this is very important. Okay, The EC10 is a solution that provides exactly the same features. Again, it's also 100 megabits symmetrical full duplex. It also allows for 600 meters of Ethernet and PoE. The only difference with the EC10 is that it's a 10-port and it's unmanaged. Other than that, it's exactly the same as the CLEER switch, and also it can be used with a single EC-Link or an EC4, a 4-port transmitter. And also can be powered directly from the switch or through an optional power supply. Okay, this is a little bit of the distances that you can reach depending on the kind of coax cable. RG55 probably is the most common coax cable that is in place that allows you, of those 30 watts of power that the unit provides, give you close to 17 watts up to 1,700 feet, which is more than 500 meters. Or in the case on a RG6 or RG11, allows you even up to 600 meters. You can use also the EC-Link as an extender. Obviously, if you only have one camera or two, you're not going to buy a whole switch. And we sell these units as a kit. This kit comes already with a pair of links, link base and EC-Link Plus. It comes with a power supply that allows you to extend one single camera up to 600 meters using coax cable. And again, you can power this either directly from the PoE switch if you are connected to a PoE switch, or you have the option of providing the power through a power supply, optionally either through the EC-Link base or the EC-Link Plus. Okay. We also have a kit that comes with EC-Link base and an EC4. That kit is in one box and comes with one EC-Link base, one EC4, and one power supply. Okay, and same as the previous solution, you can power either directly from the PoE switch or you can power through an optional power supply. Okay. Let's go to the second one, the PoLRE. Again, this is a solution that originally was meant to use more in the telephony world, where many users, the same way that owners of an analog camera system want to migrate IP. In the case of IP telephony, it's the same thing. Many users have an old TDM that works on 2-wire. When they want to migrate to IP, they have the same kind of barrier. Is either they recable or reuse the same 2-wire infrastructure. But again, this works again with any kind of device. It has more limitations when it comes to bandwidth and power, but still will allow you to use in many cases with solutions that are cameras or security. We have an 8-port and managed switch. We have a 24 and 48-port managed switch. Again, they are a layer 2 switch. In this case, this unit, again, it allows for the same thing. When you already have a 2-wire UTP infrastructure, it can be a camera, it can be an IP phone, you migrate directly to IP without having to recable. Same as the CLEER switch, it has a 24, or in this case 48-port downlink ports. There's a management and control ports, 2 gigabit Ethernet and 2 gigabit fiber ports, and the same when it comes to power. Okay. So this will be kind of the diagram when we talk about telephones. You have the old TDM, you have all your cross-connect cable, multi-pair bundles, or the Cat3 cable goes many times through a wall plate, it goes to that telephone. That solution again, allows you to keep exactly the same cable infrastructure, just disconnect the wire from the old TDM, connect to the switch and to the new PBX, and disconnect from the old phones and through the PHY-Link adapter going to the new phones. Then where you see phones here, it could be any camera. The only difference in this case is that as the CLEER had, it was 100 megabits full duplex. In this case, we have 10 megabits symmetrical full duplex. which in the case of telephone is more than enough. And many times, if you're using IP cameras that are not very bandwidth consuming, you can use that. And in this case, instead of 30 watts, we provide up to 15 watts of power, all right? Which again, for many of the fixed IP cameras is more than enough. And in this case, the reach is up to 365 meters, 1,200 feet, point to point, okay? And again, we have a managed solution and an A-port unmanaged solution, all right? We have, in the case of the PoLRE switch, a lot of case studies. Again, if you don't work with telephony, probably that will not interest you very much. But if you do, in our YouTube page, we have several case studies where you can find the solution. These are some of the partners that we have in the IP telephony world. Mostly we work with Cisco, Avaya, and Mitel. Mitel, actually, they OEM our switch, and with Cisco and Avaya, we have a partnership in which we are part of their price list. The customers can buy our PoLRE switch through their price list. All right. Now let's finish with Flex. Flex is a solution that, in appearance, it looks like a regular switch. That is a switch that using either 2 pairs or 4 pairs is going to allow you to extend your Ethernet and PoE up to 600 meters. The switch is exactly the same as I was explaining to you with the CLEER. It has those 24-port downlink ports. It has management and console port, 2 giga and 2 fiber uplink ports, and exactly the same with power. And again, as same thing as with the Flex, you can either provide the power directly through the switch. You can see at the top we have an IP camera and IP speaker that show no adapter. This solution, it works as any other switch. So if the distance is less than 100 meters, you can go directly to our Flex switch. If your distance is over 100 meters, you're going to need the Flex adapter, either a single adapter or a 4-port adapter that, again, it allows you to send up to 4 IP devices, an IP wireless, phone, camera, whatever, using only one Cat5 or Cat6. And in this case, the difference with the CLEER is that in this case, we are providing up to 50 watts of PoE, which is quite a lot. Okay? So this, again, you have pretty much this solution where you have an IP device that is less than 100 meters, you can go directly to the switch. You're going over 100 meters, you're going to need either a Flex link, if you really need a lot of power, up to 50 watts. If you don't need so much power, you can use the Flex. Up to 30 watts is a cheaper solution. Okay. Again, these units are sold also as kits. Okay. In a kit, it comes with a Flex base and a Flex link and a power supply where you can use a single extender kit to extend up to 600 meters and also provide 50 watts of power. And you can use the Flex C also, or you can use the Flex 4. It's a new solution that allows you, again, to use only one Cat5 to send up to 4 devices. Okay. This is a video actually that is in our YouTube channel. I recommend you to watch it. And the last product is the Flex 8. The Flex 8 is an 8-port and managed switch. Exactly the same features as the regular Flex 24, which is 100 megabits full duplex, 50 watts and 600 meters. But in this case, it's a smaller version, 8-port and managed switch. Okay, exactly the same. All right, and these are the distances that you can reach depending if you're using a 4-port or 4-pair or 2-pair. So with 4 pairs, you're starting at 50 watts and up to 2,000 feet, which is over 600 meters. You can get up to 26 watts of the watts provided at 600 meters. Okay. Just to finish a little bit with the technical part, is talking a little bit about the PoE interface. Again, all the 24 and 48 port switches are managed switches, which allow you to all the layer 2 switches features. That includes all the port details, the bandwidth that they're using, number of packets, errors. And I'm not going to enter in much detail. The uptime, port description, it can be entered manually. You can either universally or individually reset the power for each one of the ports, each one of the IP devices that are connected. It gives you all the information if you're using multicast, unicast, number of packets, etc., error counts, downlink port summary. This is a very important feature. It's called the port locking. Port locking means that I don't know if you can see it there, but that's an icon of where you can lock the one specific port. By locking the port means that only the IP device with that specific MAC address is the only device can be connected to that port. Once disconnected, if somebody wants to try to disconnect it and try to connect, let's say, a laptop, he will not be allowed. That port is going to be locked. Okay. Again, like any layer 2 switch, you can do VLANs in 3 very easy steps. And again, it has all the features that a regular layer 2 switch allows for. What is very important to understand about our solution is that we provide in one unit all you need for your implementation. There are other solutions in the market that maybe will allow you to do the extension of your Ethernet, of your PoE, but you're still going to need to go to a switch. In this case, it's a product that is like 2-in-1. It does all the extension, the Ethernet and PoE extension, the reuse of the cable, but also is already a layer 2 switch. I want to talk a little bit just to finish about some case studies so you understand where our solutions are installed. Sometimes, those success stories, we are not publicly allowed to mention the name of the end user, but in this case, it's a private environment. Again, I'm gonna tell you what it is. For example, for instance, in Mexico, the SHE is what here in the U.S. would be the equivalent to the IRS. Is the public agency that handles everything related to customs, taxes, etc. Again, in that case, we allowed with our CLEER switch to the migration of 8,000 analog cameras. They wanted to migrate from analog to IP. By using our CLEER switch, they were able to migrate all those 8,000 cameras in just 3-4 months, when usually just the recabling would have taken probably close to a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Then we allowed for a really quick and with a lot of savings migration of 8,000 analog cameras. This is a bank in Colombia, and this is the Banco de la República. This migration allowed for the bank to migrate up to 3,000 analog cameras also on Coax. Actually, since I saw one of you, Charles, you are with G4S, that this migration was done in Colombia by G4S using Axis cameras. And again, for the bank, one of the key things for that migration of those 3,000 cameras was not only the savings, but the time. That solved the big problems they had. They could not allow for workers to go into their branches during banking hours, of course, so they have a small window of time only at night where those workers could enter the bank and do all the recabling. Okay, so for them, that would have meant that, again, just the time of having to recable would be extended to months and months and months. With this case, they were able to reduce to 80% the implementation time. This is a Spanish retailer in Spain. Again, they're using also Axis IP cameras, and they have already migrated 8,000 of a total of 30,000 cameras in all their branches. Again, with great savings of cost and time. Prisons. This is a Federal Bureau of Prisons in the U.S. We already have a prisons project, one in Peru. Okay, with again, they were allowed to do that migration. Also, think in many cases when we talk about that migration, think about or hotels or hospitals. Just the thought of having having to allow for workers to come inside that hotel or that prison and work on the infrastructure change for months, causing a lot of noise, dust, a lot of disruption in the system is something that is a big barrier for many of those users. So when you allowed for a solution where instead of having workers, for 30 days, allowing for that migration in 3 days is a big plus for this end user. So another example, so you can see that we talk a lot about cameras or a lot about IP phones, but again, our focus is IoT. So any kind of IoT. This is an example in a Kansai airport in Japan. In this case, what we allowed is the installation of IP sensors that were separated, many of them by more than 200-300 meters. So this allowed for a point-to-point solution, avoiding the need to install IDF closets every 100 meters. Okay, this is a solution that applies more in telephony and a big grocery store. Okay, and just to finish a little bit about our warranty, we have a standard warranty for our products for 1 year, with additional plans for a year, 5-year, or lifetime. So right now we have a promotion where all the managed switches, just by registering the product in our website, we extend the warranty up to 3 years, and all the unmanaged switches and all the single kits, they're extended up to 5 years. In this case, without need of any kind of registration. Okay, this is the warranty. This is very important. What we call our ACE program. Our ACE program is something that will allow you and your customers to get the best of our solutions. That ACE program includes a demo offering. It's a demo that allows you as an integrator, I imagine most of you are installer integrators, to buy a demo from us. That demo can be a demo of individually of each one of the 3 families that I told you. It can be a CLEER, a PoLRE, or a Flex demo, and it can be a managed or unmanaged demo, any of those options. That demo, we will sell you at 78% of list, all right? If you buy a demo, the big advantage is the first project that you want, we're going to give you an additional 30% discount. Just by giving you that 30% discount, if you run the numbers, you will see that it pays more for that, the cost of that demo. And finally, we have a project registration program. It's very easy. You can do it in our website. And just by registering your projects, you can get, depending on the volume of the project, it's either 6, 10, or projects usually are around 300 cameras. We give you up to 16% discount. Again, you should use, and once you work on a project, the first thing you should do is go to our website. It's very easy, and you can register your project. It takes about 3 minutes to do that registration. It's very easy. So again, once you work on a project, first thing you should do is just go and register your project so we can protect that for you. We have right now a promotion. Sorry, here it says till the end of 17, but actually we have extended that to the middle of next year, where all the unmanaged switches and all the extender kits, individual or 4-port, we give you a 16% discount. Again, all the unmanaged switches and all the extender kits. Right now, this promo allows you to buy them with a 16% discount. Just to finish, a couple things. Go to our website, nvtphybridge.com. You're going to find there all the information that I gave you. It's a very, very easy to use, a very complete website. You're going to find all the data sheets of all the products. You're going to find connections to a lot of videos, a lot of case studies. It's a very, very comprehensive website where you're going to find all the information. Again, you have also access to our YouTube channel that's going to provide you with a lot of very educational videos, either on products, how they work, how you connect them, also many of the case studies that I told you. All right. LinkedIn, I don't know if any of you are in LinkedIn. I am, and I find it to be a very good tool, a very good marketing tool, at least for me as a company or as an individual, to be in touch with my customers and provide all the information, where we are, if we are doing a webinar, if we have a new case study, etc., etc. Okay. This is my personal LinkedIn page. Again, if you're not connected to me, you should. I'm going to get the names of the attendees at this webinar. I'm going to also reach out to you, so I will ask you to accept me so we can stay in touch. All right. And just to finish, this is my contact information, my business card. You can contact me either via phone, my mobile, either via email, or also via Skype. I guess that this presentation is going to be provided to you. If not, you can contact me, and I will be very happy to send you a copy of this presentation. All right. Again, any questions that you might have, I'll be happy to answer those for you. And just to finish, again, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we'll stay in touch in the future. Thank you.